Greetings and welcome. My name is Beaumont, and this is Vibrational Guidance Over Truth, a tarot and oracle channel where we allow the sensations and subtle whispers of the body to confirm alignment or reveal what is not in alignment within each message. This is not a traditional tarot or oracle channel. I am not an astrologer, nor do I present these readings as fixed truths. Instead, I invite you to journey with me and use your intuition, examining the synchronicities from the colors, images, numbers, and stated guidance on the cards. Each week on this channel, there is a new theme. The theme for this week is The Wild Within, Rooted Growth, Winged Insight. Please check out the deck cleansing video for this week if you want more information on the theme. Note, I do not reinsert cards once a reading has concluded, so every aspect of the collective that needs to hear a particular message can hear from their spirit guides what is meant for them. Also, the comment section for this channel is off. Our space here is for personal contemplation, refining individual critical thinking skills, and reflection as a service of growth of your intuition. Readings are for entertainment purposes. Always take what resonates, leave what does not. This space is rooted in love, not performance, not prediction, and not perfection. Love is what has brought you here, and you are welcome. Let's tap and see what the spirit guides, other realms have and would like to provide confirmation or help for you this week. All right, so this is the final message for this week. Saturday, it's usually the longest video, and I'm definitely going to allow spirit guides to guide us. If you haven't checked out the oracle messages, they were powerful, truly phenomenal. I do recommend you checking out the Thursday and potentially Wednesday readings. But spirit guides, for the theme this week, what deck would you like to begin with? I hear not the oracle deck. Okay, that's what I thought to start with. Let's go ahead and begin with the Wildwood Tarot. All right, all decks have been cleansed, just providing one more shuffle on the screen. Spirit guides, I move aside. I ask you all to come forth. What messages would you like to relay to the collective right now? What is the energy in the collective that they need to be made aware of? And overall, how would you like to conclude this theme so that the collective can thrive and be more wholly succinct and secure in their purpose? What messages do you have? That was a lot, but I'm thankful. I am thankful. And for every request that I have made, there is an answer. We got a storybook out here, so let's get started. All right. Furthest, we have the Three of Bowls, fulfillment. This is awesome to start off, although I do perceive we have some reversals, but that is okay. So we have the Three of Bowls fulfillment card. Next, we have here, I knew it, in the reverse, the Five of Arrows, frustration, and the King of Stones, which is the horse. And I'm definitely going to pull out the book so we can examine what this means, but we can use our intuition and the images of the card to glean what this means. Next we have, and I would say that this is all a chapter in and of itself. So let's start at the top. The Hooded Man, the number 9 card. Ace of Arrows, breath of life. 6 of Arrows, transition. And then the Moon on Water, 18 card. So we do have 2 9s here. Or you could say 9, the Hooded Man, 6 for the 6 of Arrows, and then 1 plus 8 on the 18, the Moon on Water card is 9. So 9, 6, 9. All right. Below, we have in the reverse, the Queen of Arrows, the Swan. So Ace of Arrows, Queen of Arrows. And then we have here the Four of Stones, protection. Okay. And then in our final chapter, if this was a 3-chapter book, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, 2 reversals, we have the Ancestor, number 5, in the reverse. Oh, I feel a little bit of Thursday's message showing up here for that one. And then we have the Five of Vessels, ecstasy in reverse. All right, without pulling out the book for confirmation, again, I'm not an astrologer, from the actual astrological meanings of these cards. Right now, in chapter 1, someone is aware that their life is fulfilled. The fulfilling feelings might come from confidence in self, community, strides taken in personal endeavors that are coming to fruition to show first fruits. But there's fulfillment in 3 potential areas or with 3 particular things, and that's awesome. Though there is this fulfillment with the 5 of arrows, and this frustration being upside down, this person who is fulfilled is not frustrated. So we have 2 F's, fulfillment or frustration. So which energy are you in? And collective, you need to tap into your spiritual team and your intuition and sit in stillness and silence with yourself and figure out which phase are you in. Is the most recent chapter you have come out of a phase of fulfillment or a phase of frustration? And this is shown here with this goat-like creature having a gentleman on the ground shooting arrows at it. And it has shot 4 arrows at the goat and is about to shoot the 5th, which seems to be right in the center, spot on, to either get the tail end of this goat-like creature or it's going to get it pure in the middle. But I suspect that it actually looks as if its aim is going to be closer to the hooves and will also miss. So someone is not frustrated and is coming into or out of a phase of fulfillment. That is wonderful. In the reverse here, we have the Knight of Stones, which is the horse. And similar to this goat creature, the horse here, though it is in the reverse, is seeming to move forward and is kicking up rocks. So someone is potentially just exiting a season of their life or entering the first new chapter in this phase of their life where they're feeling fulfilled. They are not frustrated. And whatever stones they've had to kick up to move forward, they're fine with the path that they have kicked up and they're ready for this next chapter to begin. Now we have here in the middle, and let me make sure I move this over because I believe this is how it went. 353. The hooded man, number 9, is someone who is moving, concealing their identity through a snowy forest. And they are approaching a door that is of size obviously smaller than this human vessel individual is. But it is not clear, other than the fact that they are lighting their way through the snow, through the elements that are not ideal. And they have a staff for protection. And there's also a small brown bird perched up here. Beside this hooded man, there is the Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. So we have a lot of arrows, which could symbolize communication coming in, communication that could have been frustrating, but it is not. And again, we have staffs as a form of protection. You are fulfilled because with these 2 staffs, you have protected yourself. And again, you're in a season where maybe you've let one of your staffs go and you're protecting yourself with the one sole truth that you're holding to be your guidance that is productive for you to move forward in this new season with. But you're breathing a breath of life. Your aim is true. And with the 6 of arrows here, your aim is so true that you are now transitioning into a new phase. And again, we have a hooded figure here, but instead of being on land, this person is moving over water. And we are continuing this theme again of arrows. So Ace of Arrows, 6 of arrows. So some of you potentially could be in a season of transitioning, of moving from being in a place where you were landlocked. Maybe there was not water nearby, but with the sun setting in the background, you're on to the happier waters or the direction that your true north or your true south or east or west is telling you to move in. And you're following that, whether you need to travel by day or by night, because sun is setting here and the moon is rising also within this card. With the Queen of Arrows in the reverse, the Swan, and this ship is with a swan on it, if you can see that. So we have the ship that is the Swan and the Queen of Swans in reverse. Queen, stereotypically by society representing feminine energy, whether you identify as masculine or feminine. But this queen figure this elegance in the reverse, this nature of yourself that you have perceived is what you should carry forward in the world. You are letting that go. You're not needing to always put on a full face of makeup or have on false nails or wear a weave or always come in with your 5 o'clock shadow gone. You are presenting the wholeness of yourself, and the breath of life that you have breathed is your truth in this season, and you're moving forward with that and not this formal sense of need of presentation. Also, with this Queen of Arrows, speaking of communication, your direction is not in the direction of, again, formal presentation. You are concealing yourself in this present chapter as you are moving from one place to another and not keeping up the societal stereotypical expectations of presenting yourself. And then finally, we have here the Four of Stones. And there's a beautiful little baby, looks like a doe, underneath these stones. And again, the sun is setting in this card, similar to here. So something could be happening around sunset for someone, but it says here that you are protected. So as you transition and you take this breath of life after what might have been to an outsider a frustrating situation, you're cloaking yourself. You're moving forward. You're following your true north, not presenting yourself how others would expect you to potentially be whining and crying. But you know you're protected, whether you're out in nature in the elements and it seems like your protection is not there. Source, the divines, your ascended masters are providing you with that needed protection. And then finally, we have here the moon over water, the 18 card. And again, phases, two cards where the phase of the moon being full is present here, and then two cards where the sun is setting with a very similar backdrop. But with the moon on the water, this immediately brings to my recollection and attention reflection, because that is what is seen here in the water. And again, the moon is over water, moon is over water. This might be in the third chapter of your life as you're transitioning, an opportunity for you to reflect. Though there could be naysayers, again, with all of our errors, communication, birds in the sky, or people gawking, squawking. There's this ram like creature. So we have another, here it is, ram like creature, as well as this one who is having arrows thrown at it. So synchronicities there with the goat, or I have heard that within astrology, the goat could sometimes represent the Capricorn card. So maybe a Capricorn is significant in someone's life. But irregardless of the strong masculine stance here of this bull-like creature or ram or goat-like creature, and the birds, the talkers, the gossipers up in the air around you, and it's seeming like you're in a barren place coming through movement, use this time, no matter what is going on around you, to reflect. The moon, the opportunity for your life, nature to illuminate to you the truth of the situation, will show the waters here are pure. The space and the distance you need from this strong willed naysayer community is there. You are here. They are there. The moon, the spirit guides, your spiritual team is providing you with distance so that you can reflect. What this also means to me, and what your spiritual guide team could want you to use as an interpretation, again, use your own interpretation, is that this is not a time for you to call on your ancestors. This is not a time, and ancestors could mean older family members and asking them for their guidance, or someone used the word wisdom. I don't like that word. I'd rather say wise dominion. This is not a time for you to go for the elders in the community. This card first showing up, the moon on water, is a confirmation. This is a time for you to reflect. You have gotten to this place in your life, and it is not the guidance or the advice of others of, hey, what did you do when you got here? Because this is not a time for you to repeat other people's actions in this season of your life. This is a time for you to use the moonlight as an individual, for you to move forward, for you to follow your true north that is being presented to you, breath of life, and to move as an individual. You are protected as an individual. You are moving forward as an individual. You are, again, protection with the staff. And then finally, we have here, also in the reverse, the Five of Vessels, ecstasy. So again, the high and the comforts of being in a community and the beauty, this is reminding me of the swan card here, of being a part of particular religious or esoteric communities. Her green, the feathers, the what looks like a rattle, the necklace of bones, the elaborate what looks like green velvet dress and the gold trim, and being the center of attention. Yes, this brings up a lot of the feeling of this swan card that's also in the reverse. This is not your time to experience the highs of life. This is your season of knowing fulfillment is here. What is the lesson? Let arrows be thrown. Don't outwardly react. Just move. It's okay if stones get kicked up. That's a byproduct of you being in alignment, or some would say you being obedient to going out on your own, even if it seems cold, even if it seems like a barren place, because your greener pastures are coming. Not only are your greener pastures coming, it's going to lead you to wider waters where you're truly about to take that leap of faith and move into the community where, due to you not needing to keep up face, the protection is very apparent for your soul to have an opportunity to reflect and, again, not communicate to any elders or wise or bosses what your plans are. I like this, and it's not for me to like it, but I do for whoever this is in the collective who needs to hear this. So now let's come to our Divine Feather Oracle. Spirit guides, are there any clarifying messages or new messages you would like to reveal about what appears to be a 3-chapter? And if I've misaligned something, please clarify. But what intention, what message would you like to relay to the collective concerning what has been stated here or what they need to know? Thank you so much. What would you like to relay? I heard do it again. What would you like to relay? All right, very specific message, and we are going to do it again. Aim that way. Okay. Okay, that was why. What message would you like to reveal? Thank you to the collective. Are there any messages? Thank you. Okay. We have very specific messages. So I'm going to take this as pointing to the hooded man. And there's also a synchronicity of this color alignment between the images and the colors on the hooded man and the feather tip landing in this direction. This card says Blue Jay. The time is right to access and master your abilities. Do so with humility and control. Wow, if this is not confirmation, I don't know what is. But while you are in this place of concealing yourself, you know that this is your time. You have light, you have your resources. It's time for you to access. Here's the door. Synchronicity and alignment for granting access. It is time for you to access and master, whether it be with the staff you have brought with you and the light that you are providing yourself, your abilities, your ability to survive these treacherous circumstances. Do so with humility. So be humble. Again, like this frustration card, don't have a face of being discontent. As he is moving away, his mouth is closed. His mouth is not open, like he is crying out, why you are doing this to me? Do this with self-control. Do this movement with humility. Go alone and prepare. Master yourself, master your abilities. It will grant you access. So I feel we have 2 confirmations for the Ace of Arrows, this breath of life, the cardinal over it, and then right over it, this white feather. So we're going to take those 2. For breath of life, stand tall and proud. See the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. So you have this breath of life, leadership, this one singular arrow moving in the direction where this smoke is following you. Go ahead. So I feel like moving ahead, like this arrow, and the smoke is moving ahead in a forward direction, not to the south, not to the east or the west of this card, but it's time for you to stand tall, erect, be proud. Know that you have leadership qualities, skills, and abilities. They don't need to be stereotypically or societally assumed to be traditional. Just know that the unfolding of you as leader in whatever aspect or area of your life is here. Not only is it here, but it is going to be steadily ahead of you for whoever this is for. We also have right above the white eagle. It says the connection to divine guidance is within you. I think this is so fitting. So you have divine guidance. And I think it's also interesting that all of our feathered cards came out to clarify this middle chapter that someone is potentially in, or this present situation in someone's life. But you have the divine within you, and the divine is guiding you. So again, guidance, arrow, where is it? Within. This door is within this tree. Confirmation for these two. And again, ahead of you and within you. In the reverse, we have here the transition card, and this yellow and black feather is also over transition. So we have here the ostrich. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. That is something that is in the reverse. So someone is doubting this transition, is doubting this move. And I think there's a huge synchronicity here with this yellow and yellow in these cards. And again, the yellow of this feather. So more confirmation if someone's potentially seeing yellow or has felt inspired or drawn lately to want to wear yellow. And I just saw 10:01 on the timer. So maybe look up what on ChatGPT or Safari or Google 1001 means as a synchronicity. But someone is doubting this move, doubting how to transition, or wondering where are the resources to make this transition. Maybe you're someone who wants to move and you're not aware of how you can follow this urge, this wise knowing that it's time for you to uproot yourself from where you are, this environment or this relationship. Do know that what you feel is in alignment. You are making headway for wherever you are. Let the spirit guides give you your confirmations and move on it, no matter what it sounds like. And let's see if we can get confirmation here. The Oriole. A new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. So, extreme confirmation here, especially with the orange and yellow. And there's a little yellow here and the yellow. For whoever is in the season right now of knowing, hey, as I go through this transition, this is my time to master my ability of being humble and in control of myself. It's not a time to showboat. I am protected. I am breathing this breath of life that I'm supposed to be proud of. And I'm proud of it because there are gifts, skills, talents, and abilities that I have been born with, and they are going to steadily unfold for me because divine guidance is with me as I move. Though I might not be aware of where to or how, the confirmation is coming. Again, we have horizon again. This is on the horizon. Thank you, spirit guides. And I heard, don't go there, go to Siggles. So let's be obedient and go to Siggles. What from the Siggles, this manifestation and empowerment card, would you like to either provide confirmation of for the collective or an aspect of the collective? Or what new messages would you like to relay? And I just heard go to the bottom. All right. So can we do this one more time? No. All right. What's on the bottom? Highlight. And that's where I feel drawn to put that card. Is there another? Nope. Okay. With the highlight card, and interestingly, choosing to place it under the moon on the water, some aspect of the nighttime, whether it be you're waking up or you love looking at moonlight, no matter where the direction of the moon is, when you can get a glimpse of it, it just does something to you. You are needing to highlight this period of your life of reflecting in the midst of the naysayers, the people throwing arrows at you, and this bullheaded energy. Highlight your ability to do what? Stay humble and be in control. Highlight the ability that you can move cloaked and silently, and you might not have all the tangible information on where you're going to end up, but you have that positive mindset that this creative venture that you have been divinely guided to is unfolding as long as you stay humble and in control. In control of your emotions as people throw arrows at you and say things around you. It is here. That is what's being highlighted. I heard now, yes. I love this deck here. All right, Root and Wings Oracle, Spirit Guides. As we get ready to conclude this message and these messages, what would you like to say to the collective? Are there any confirmations or new messages for any aspect? If I was wrong in saying chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, please show the blending. But I thank you so much for how you've been very intentional with what you've needed to say to a particular individual or an aspect or a group within the collective. Please continue to build on your truth if you find any value in these cards. And I caught that, okay? Is there anything that you, okay, caught it, but it still came out? Would like to clarify for the collective. Anything, thank you, that you would like to clarify for the collective? All right, as I fanned across, we have messages in particular areas. So right here over breath of life, and as someone is taking this breath in their life, and again, we have from transition to the breath, there's a card here. So I'm going to take this for transition, and then over both this fulfillment and frustration. So let's start with fulfillment and frustration. Moving forward, we have the awakening card. And it says, realize your growth and changes and embrace awakening. So your fulfillment comes from you embracing your awakening. Can an awakening be frustrating? Yes, it is completely usurping, undoing the foundations of truth and comfort that you have come to establish, that you have been taught to establish for yourself. However, this awakening is the most important type of growth, and you need to realize that and make these changes now, because it does lead, as you can see, to a great new location. We have here the goal card. Set clear goals and move forward with courage. So all of this is about movement. And guess what there is here? An arrow. So you are absolutely right to move forward past this frustration and stay in your growth mindset. Kick up whatever dust needs to be kicked up. That doesn't mean kick it up with your mouth. Kick it up with your feet. Show proof by your actions, not by your words. Here we have over breath of life. In the reverse, 2 cards. And then this is the only one in the upright, and it's over transition. So over breath of life, the first in the reverse, we have here heart's desire. Ignite your inner passion and desires, driving you toward your dreams. So someone is feeling like this new breath, this new phase of your life is not allowing you to follow your heart's desire. Here's the question I have for you. Whose heart's desire do you have? Is that society's heart's desire? Is that the conditioning from your community? And there's no shame if the answer is yes. Yes, you want a comfortable life. You want a soft life. You want a certain amount of commas in your bank account and in your savings account besides your checking account. You want a certain car and a certain house in a certain location. But is your heart's desire in alignment, so fitting over this arrow, with the breath of life that the cosmos has given you this time around? And the answer here is looking like they want to just be honest with you. Rip that Band-Aid off. The answer is no. You're desiring things that are not in alignment with what you're actually going to have an experience in your life this lifetime. And that's the oops and the ouch and it hurts, but the facts is the facts there. What else is in reverse? This says change. So someone is not changing their desires, their mindsets. It says dare to change and embrace new possibilities. So again, some of you within the collective are like, nah, I'm going to do it the way everybody around me is saying to do it. I don't want to be this hooded person out in the cold by myself, being the crazy person who's out here talking to a bird, guiding myself with a lantern instead of the light on my cell phone. Hell no, that ain't me. My heart's desire is to be comfortable. I want that soft life. I want my hair and my nails and my car and my food to be a certain way. But your true breath of life comes from what landed over both, but I said I was going to put it more for transition, going through this rebirth, this phoenix rising. And it's no coincidence that all these cards have a touch of red and orange in them, just like the transition has this yellow, orange, and red sunset on one side of it, and it has blue at the bottom for this blue moonrise. Rebirth says, rise anew, embrace new beginnings and opportunities. What in the world is going on? I know what's going on. It's confirmations, and someone just needs to hear it, even if they don't want to accept it. But the spirit guides are clear. And I'm just going to recap this whole storyboard that they have presented and move on. And I will catch you all next week with another one. But before we leave, let's break it down one more time. And again, apply your own intuition and interpretation to the cards. Some of you within the collective have reached this place of fulfillment. You're choosing not to be frustrated, even though arrows have been thrown at you. Gossip has gone around you. People have purposely tried to sabotage you, and you've seen the sabotage coming, but with your mouth shut, you just kept it moving. And from a goat to a horse, you have chosen to move forward with your awakening, following your arrow that is your true guide, not to avoid the direction just because it seems like danger is coming. And what could potentially be on this path of danger is already what I've experienced when I've gotten started. But you know, the arrow, the bull's eye, is the reward for having courage and moving forward anyways. For those of you in the collective who are moving forward, you're moving forward swiftly, silently, in what seems like a place without life. It's cold, it's lonely, but there's a doorway. And that doorway is the opportunity for you in this alone place within a tree or within your house, in your room, in your bathroom, in your car when nobody else is around, for you to master yourself. What are you mastering? What are you working on? Self-control of mind, of thoughts, of actions, of emotions, and being humble and forgiving yourself and loving yourself and giving yourself grace when you don't make the mark each time, but you're still moving through this awakening. As the hooded man, what you're choosing to not be is flashy about it. Again, like how some people always got a boast. So this is the phase of life that I'm in, and da 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 da. No, that's not you. You know that that is not the representation of you having mastered your ability to move swiftly and silently. What is your confirmation for going at this alone? Certain chapters of your life are meant for you to do on your own. Again, if you want professional advice, so be it, that is you. But the confirmation of you doing this alone and reaping the rewards of self-control and being humble is your breath of life. Spirit, the divine, your guides have given you direction. And that cardinal direction that they're giving you is to where you are now and where we're sending you to go be. Stand tall and be proud. You did the work. Everything is unfolding ahead of you. You did the work. Not only did you do the work, like the white eagle, extremely noticeable. You are so connected to us because your guidance to be one with us came from you choosing to not follow your heart's desires that society has conditioned you to want. Your guidance has come because you have denied this opportunity to make a choice to go back down the old road. But you have chosen to know that we are protecting you as you transition. And what are you transitioning into? More of that rebirth, just on the new level. That new creation of you that comes from, again, new beginnings is so positive. It might look like the sun is setting on one season of your life and the moon is rising and it's getting darker. But what is that darkness going to show you? It's here to show you that you're wiser now and you're not feeling the truth. You're knowing the truth and everything is clear for you now. Clear for you, like how nighttime is a great time for you to reflect. Yes, take note of who was saying in the air, in the background around, not supporting. Take note of who was bulldozing with their horns on the very little stable ground that you had. But take note from afar. Reflect. See the light that is within you. See the light that has been given to you, the life that you have. To not repeat the chapters and make the decisions that your ancestors made that might put you back on this road where you don't see change. But continue to make the choices to not be in the limelight and this attention of ecstasy, but to highlight what is your true calling. I love this. Someone needed to hear this. Thank you, Aquamarine. All right, final messages. Ancient Stones Oracle. What do you have for the collective as we wrap this up? What are your final messages, spirit guides? Thank you for this reading. What is your final message? Thank you for the final messages you have. Very specific, and it looks like they both showed up in the reverse. So they're letting us know something very clearly right here over the hooded man. Someone being concerned again. So what? You're telling me not to get my nails done anymore, more, not to get my hair done, get a haircut? No. What this says in the reverse: creativity, creative expression, trust your vision. What spirit guides are saying, your ascended masters are saying, this is not the time for you to go out there and try to be super creative and flashy. Trust your vision. Trust your vision. Your vision is sending you on a different path. And I said this in the last video. There's a verse somewhere in the Bible that's like, wide is the path and untrodden is the way that leads to death, destruction, and decay, but more narrow is the path, more fewly trodden is the way that leads to like something like illumination and oneness with God, or higher self, or something like that. You can Google it, put that beginning part in there. I know the beginning part is somewhat right, and then you'll see the rest of what that verse is. Though I'm not a Christian, that just popped up. That was very fitting from my days when I was a Christian. This is your time to trust your vision. Trust what you are having the ability to let your natural environment illuminate to you as the truth, and just make mental note of it, or what you are shedding light of in your own going inward work on self-time. You don't need to, if you are not a journaler and you live in a household, and I have tons of warnings about being careful of keeping a journal when you're not in a phase where you're living by yourself, I guarantee you someone is looking inside of that book. Some of you need to know that, who is watching. This is not the time to start something new. This is the time to, like it says here, trust your vision. And since this is in reverse, don't trust the vision that you have been given. Trust the vision that is right within your reach, that is right here, being present in the now. Final message right here over fulfillment, and it wasn't in the reverse. You have not forgotten. Your spirit guides, your spiritual team wants you to know that you are not forgotten. Messages from spirit, unbroken connection. You have an unbroken connection, whoever you are, the individual or the group of you. And another synchronicity is here big time. Fulfillment, frustration in the reverse. So fulfillment, 1F. Frustration in the reverse, or we could say not frustrated, F. We have a 5, and then we have forgotten. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4. So someone might have had like these 4 arrows for real close calls where they could feel like no one's looking out for me. And wow, here there are 2 standing on this side and 2 standing on that side, and another 2 here and another 2 here, like it's a mirrored image. So we have a repeat of 4 again and 4, 4. So maybe 4, 4, 4, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 44, 44, or 44, 44, 44, 44. But 4s is relevant, like these 4 arrows here that are in the air. Someone has gotten the message 4 times very clearly. There is a path you need to go on. No matter what you've got to kick up, you're going to be spot on We have not forgotten you is the message from Spirit. That is literally what it says here. Messages from Spirit, unbroken connection. For whoever you are, this is your alignment. This is your confirmation right here. Spirit guides have not forgotten about you. And they want you to know that you have an unbroken connection to them. You just need to go alone. And don't be flashy about it. And follow your cardinal direction. Take those breaths. Maybe some of you, again, consult a health physician if you need to, can get into some breath work. But your transition is guaranteed. All they want you to do is make this positive change. Use this time, this season of your life to reflect. Don't consult anyone. Don't consult anyone. Those older family members you might think are wise, it's not the time to go to them. Not the time to be flashy. Oh, go get that man back. Oh, go get that job. No. We also have synchronicities here with 5s as well. And here's another 4. But I see we have 5 in front of the ancestor card, 5 in front of ecstasy, and then we have the 5 of arrows. So I hope this message was able to help someone in the collective. I'm sending you love and light, and I will catch you all next week on our final theme for the month of July. Peace, love, and blessings.